It's recording. Welcome to the Pilosopo Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Jigga Jr. and live in the flesh, ladies and gentlemen, we have actor, singer, and I would say entrepreneur because he's got so many things going on with his life. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, James Reid.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi, James. How you doing? How's everything?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for dropping by Cebu and showing yourself to the entire Cebuano community.
Yeah.
We have been together for the past couple of days and everybody is just so super excited to see you. I've never seen so many people screaming their heads off for one person this close, and finally I got to see that last night and the other night. James, can you explain to everyone, because I know why people are screaming and everybody's just going crazy these past couple of days. Tell us why you're here in Cebu, James. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I've been here the past couple of days, going around promoting our big event that's happening during Sinulog in January, the Wavy Baby Music Festival. So we've been out here for the past couple of days just promoting. We went to Cebu Mercado.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we went together. Mm-hmm. We did that twice. We also have been around a lot of different bars and clubs around Cebu. Just going around promoting the Wavy Baby Music Festival.
So what is the Wavy Baby Music Festival? From what I understand, it's a 2-day music festival. Can you give us more information, please?
It's a 2-day music festival happening January 13 and January 14. And it has a international lineup. So we have huge local acts. There's Ben and Ben, December Ave, Urban Dub Franco, the Careless artists will be performing as well. And then we also have international acts too. From Korea, we're bringing in Sunmi, we're bringing in Bam Bam. And on the US side, we're bringing in Jake, and we're bringing in Pink Sweats. Plus many more. This is just a few of the names of the people who will be there at the concert. So it's going to be, I think, probably one of the biggest events to happen in Cebu. It's such a huge lineup, and we really are taking it to the next level in terms of the artists performing. The stage design is crazy when you see it. It's like a Wonderland levels. It's crazy.
Yeah, the poster, there's no space for pictures anymore because it's all names, right?
Yeah. Because
that's how many artists are performing, in the next 2 days, at least on January 13 and 14 for the music festival, right?
Yeah,
so how many artists all in all? Have you lost track after 20?
Man, I can't count them. It's a lot. There's a lot.
So would you have an idea like how long each performance will be, or is it going to be the same?
It's all different, but it's roughly like 1 hour time slots.
Okay.
And we also have a lot of local Cebu acts performing as well.
Okay.
Like Mandawi Nights, who else is? Wangoys. There's a lot of local acts as well performing. So
absolutely, I think
we wanted to tie it all together in one big event.
I think there's also Three-Legged Men.
Yes,
and Cookies will also be there, I think.
That's
and
right.
then Urban Dub and all of that stuff. There's just so many names to think about. James, I mentioned to you earlier in the introduction that you're not only an artist, an actor, a singer, but you're also an entrepreneur. Obviously, this is an entrepreneurial venture, right? Because you're not only performing in this event, you're also producing this. This is quite a different animal in and of itself, right? I mean, it's different from acting and singing and all of that stuff. But what brought you into this whole production thing when you know for a fact that it is a kind of a, how shall I say it nicely, complicated endeavor? How about that?
I think as a musician, and we are a music label, we manage artists, and being able to perform your music is, I guess, the whole point. And there's no bigger stage than a concert stage, a music festival stage in front of like thousands and thousands of people, being able to sing your songs and perform it with the crowd. That's really what it's all about. That's the highlight of a musician's kind of career. So naturally, this is where we were going to end up, creating a music festival that embodies what Careless is about, also what the Philippines is about, and where we see entertainment in the Philippines going forward.
Okay, Careless is actually the company that is producing this event, the Wavy Baby Music Festival, right?
Yes.
But primarily, or initially, Careless was not a music or event production outfit. It was a sort of like a recording artist. What do you call that? A stable, right? Of where all the recording artists gravitate.
It's a lot of things right now.
Manage them and all that stuff. What do you call that kind of company again?
A music label.
A music label. Yeah, sorry.
Just a music label.
It escaped me. So
yeah, it's we're doing a lot of things. Right now we're getting into events, which is the Wavy Baby Music Festival. It's also an entertainment company where we manage the entertainment company and an artist management company. We do manage artists as well. Liza Sobran is our first actress that we've signed on to our management. And it was primarily a music label. So, but before that it was a music label. It was really just a collective, just a group of friends.
So it eventually became a music label and now a music production outfit with, of course, this first endeavor here in Cebu, at least, the Wavy Baby Music Festival. How do you feel about Wavy Baby Music Festival? Because I know there are jitters, and there are a lot of things that you need to consider, a lot of things you have to think about, and so many things that are unpredictable, so many variables and all of that stuff. How do you feel about it personally, the Wavy Baby Music Festival?
I feel great about it. I can't say the same for my team that has to handle it. Honestly, this wouldn't be possible without the team, the Careless team that's working on all of this. It's, for me, really the vision was just to create something that hasn't been done before, and just to give everyone a world-class experience, just a good time. Like, that's really what it's about. Like, we just want people to have an amazing time. And if they do, we'll be so happy to come back and do this every year, make it bigger and better every time.
I noticed that your collection of artists are quite different in terms of, let's just say, comparing it to, I would say, for a lack of a better comparison, let's just say Coachella or Woodstock or Lilith Fair or the other sort of festivals. Your collection of artists are quite eclectic and diverse. Can you tell us what was the thought process behind choosing artists like as diverse as Sunmi, and then you got Jake, and then you've got Franco, and then you got Pink Sweats. So it's a very different, very diverse group of artists. What was the thought process in putting together and curating all of these artists?
We wanted a lineup that we thought reflects I guess what people are into now. And first of all, a lot of the people that are on the lineup I've actually worked with personally or know them personally, like Bam Bam, The Rose, Destiny Rogers. So some of it is personal relationships, and the other part is also we wanted something that kind of represents what people want now. And it's not like before when you go, like, you listen to rock music, you could only be with people that listen to rock music.
Yeah, exactly.
Like yeah. Right now, people they love being able to listen to everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Everyone has a very broad taste in music, and yeah, we just wanted something that kind of reflects that right now. K-pop and Korean music is huge right now in the Philippines, and some of the other artists we're bringing, Pink Sweats, Jake, have been viral with their songs on TikTok, and a lot of the artists coming, we just really love their music, so we wanted something that kind of reflects that, I guess, Filipinos now. Okay,
I'm intrigued about that idea because when I was producing events, and in fact when I was, I still am in the entertainment industry somehow, so I can observe it from where I am. I've always noticed that most concerts are genre based, right? Let's say if it's a rock concert, it's all rock concert, like you mentioned, right? If it's a K-pop concert, it's all K-pop. If it's alternative, it's alternative. It's reggae, it's all reggae, and all of that stuff. But you've matched up all together, all of these different genres in one concert. And the common knowledge, the idea is that these artists, these crowds don't mix because these are different tribes, so to speak, right? So you're saying that it's a thing now, like that's how accepting everybody is of each other's varied and diverse taste. So what's
not
happening
all
now?
festivals are like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's Coachella.
Yeah.
You know? And this is kind of what we want to be the Coachella.
Ah,
Southeast
okay,
Asia.
all right, yeah.
You know,
That's the inspiration.
Yeah, we want this festival to be like the Coachella of Southeast Asia.
All right.
So that's really the goal. But yeah, it's also a 2-day festival. So this is like, also I don't think that's happened in Cebu either.
Not yet. No.
Yeah, it's a 2-day festival, so it's a like very long festival. But other than music, there's also a lot of other cool stuff there to do as well.
How does it work? Will they be performing sometimes simultaneously in multiple stages, or are they going to perform one
main
after
stage.
the other?
Yeah, one main stage.
And then how long are the performances? What time will it start? When will it end?
I think doors open at 3 p.m.
Okay.
and then it goes all the way till 1 a.m. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 a.m.
So the venue, how did you choose the venue? It just says North Reclamation Area, Mandaue City. That is kind of a long stretch. Exactly where in the North Reclamation Area in Mandaue?
Oh, okay. It's right across Bai Hotel.
Okay.
It's like the huge lot outside Bai Hotel.
Yeah, we've seen that place get packed and filled with previous events. And now you're reviving the place, right? Because I think the last event there was years ago. So this will be the first big time event in that location for a long time. We're talking about 5-7 years, I think. That the last event there I can remember is Life Dance, if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to do it again. What was the thought process like? Why did you decide to pick that place?
It's in Mandaue, so it's like, and especially during Sinulog, it's very hectic and it's very packed. So just to make, give it a bit more space, and we have a huge open area, which is what we wanted to go for, just because as well it's like to keep it safe. A huge open ground is the best way to do it, and yeah, it was just the perfect location.
In the North Reclamation Area, the property just across or just beside Bai Hotel, where we're doing this interview right now at their 5th level business room. By the way, thank you so much.
You can probably see it outside the window.
No,
not this one.
Not maybe another window. So James, you're not only a businessman, an entrepreneur, a music producer. You're also, of course, an actor and a singer. If you don't mind me asking you, James, can you give us sort of like an idea how you got started in acting and singing? Was there like a moment in your life, maybe you can go back as far as you can remember, maybe when you were maybe a child or whatever, that you there was already like an inkling, an idea that you were going to become who you are now?
Absolutely not. There was no part in my childhood where I was like, oh, I'm really good at this. Maybe I'm going to be an actor one day, or be in movies, or have a TV show, or even make music and go on an American tour. Never. That never crossed my mind.
Nobody told you also that, you could sing or you could act? Nobody told you that as well?
No, that had never happened. It was only after I had come out of PBB.
Okay.
So everything started when I moved to the Philippines.
Okay.
And that was 2010 when I was on Big Brother. And it wasn't until I came out and I started touring. They said, you're going to go on tour and you're doing mall shows everywhere across the country as the big winner. And they said, you have to do something. I was like, what am I going to do? And they said, you can sing. Most people sing. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'll do that.
Wait a minute, okay, so you already knew how to sing when they said,
no,
they asked you to sing?
I told them, like, I can't sing. And they said, no, you can. It's fine. Everyone can sing. It's okay. And they said, they just want to see you. They just want to see you. They don't care if you can sing.
So what happened? Did you like take singing lessons and stuff?
No, I just started singing.
Okay.
I knew how to play guitar, so I would just play guitar and then sing, like, I don't know, Bruno Mars, or what was I singing? Yeah, so probably. So
when you went on tour, you would sing like Bruno Mars stuff?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And then it was then actually that I realized I love music.
Okay.
Which is really backwards.
Exactly.
Usually you start singing as a kid, and then you get better as you get older, start making your own music, put it out, and then people start recognizing you, and you get a bit of fame, you start making money, and then you become known as a singer. But I was already famous
before you became a singer.
Yeah, and I was already performing for thousands of people. My very first song. So it's kind of backwards. So I started already performing for thousands of people, And since then, I've been trying to like hone my craft, figure out what I like about music, what is my own personal style, you know, and then starting to write my own music and create my own albums, start my own music label.
At what point did you feel like, hey, I'm good at this? I mean, you know, you knew that the crowd was there for you no matter what you did, right? And it just happened to be singing, right? And you know, they would probably applaud you whether or not you sang well, because you're James Reid, you're the big winner, right, of PBB. So at what point in your singing did you think, hey, I might be good at this?
I think it was less the singing, but it was making the music, because I had been doing that, and you know, people were telling me like, oh, you need to sing more, like people love it. And so I did. I didn't think too much about it. But it's when I started making my own music, that's when it changed everything. Till then I was doing mostly acting, and it wasn't until I started making my own songs I was like, oh wow, this is special, I like doing this. And then when I released that first album I made, that I made myself, completely written originally, all songs were original. I was thinking to myself like, wow, I could really do this. Like, this is what I love to do.
So better than acting?
Oh yeah.
By far?
I mean, I wouldn't say by far, but definitely it's like my top choice. Yeah.
So when you said you create your own music, you mean like you wrote your own songs?
Yes.
Maybe you can take us back to the first song that you ever wrote and what it's about, and what the process was like for you when that first song came out of you.
The first song?
Yeah.
Oh man, it probably sucked really bad.
Any of the songs that one of the older songs that you can remember, your first songs that are not.
What I can remember is off that album. It was
Okay.
called Palm Dreams.
Okay.
Was Cool Down, and I remember I was just sitting. I was at taping, shooting a teleserie, I think.
Okay.
Or a movie, and I was in the waiting area, just really bored, and I started writing the song about how I didn't want to be here right now. Can we just go and leave and like just have a good time? It was really just me writing about what I was going through right there and then. You know, I've been working hard and later. Yeah, you know, I've been working hard and later I got a show. So I'm just talking about what was happening in my life.
So that was like sort of the song that you think was good and you can remember, right? A song about you just getting bored out of your mind, wanting to get the hell out of wherever you were, right?
Start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's a very interesting piece. So that was from your first album.
Yes.
So how did you feel about your first ever album? How many albums ago was this?
Palm Dreams was the first one I released that was completely original, and that was under Careless music.
Okay. So how many albums have you made so far since that album?
How many albums total? Under Careless?
Under anyone, like whatever you have made so far.
Well, under Careless I've released 2 albums.
2 albums already,
Yeah,
but
just
overall?
Overall I think it's 4.
4, okay.
Can't really
So you have a new album out now. It's called Love Scene, which you released last October.
Yeah.
Tell us about Love Scene. Why is it called Love Scene and all of that? Give us some more information about the album.
This album I wasn't trying to make an album. It just kind of came together as I was making all these songs. I was just making singles while I was in LA this year. And I made maybe 30 songs.
30 songs?
Yeah. And then I just cut it down. I was supposed to just release a single, and then it became an EP, like a mini album, like 3-4 songs. And I kept adding, became 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I had 10 songs I wanted to release. I was like, okay, it should be an album. And then the common theme that kind of tied it all together, because I was writing all these songs, was just based off my own personal experience with relationships, with love, and all the different scenarios that happen. And that's kind of how I saw it, like different scenes of a relationship. So when you listen to the album, the story kind of goes from like meeting someone in like a new flame, and then into like getting into a deeper relationship, and then it hits.
Are your songs about something that happened to you personally, or sometimes sometimes
they're
it's
all
not?
personal.
Personal? Okay.
Yeah.
So they're all about what happened to you personally.
Yeah, what that I've experienced. Yeah.
the songwriting process, for some artists that I've read or I've known, it's sort of therapeutic for them. It's a way for them to express themselves, like an outlet, like a valve that they can release the pressure from their heads. What is songwriting or song making for James Reid?
I would definitely agree with that. It's like, because I don't like journal or diary, like, you know, have any of that kind of stuff. So sometimes your thoughts can be like all over your head, but then when you're writing, especially if it's coming from an experience, you're pulling all of that together into like straight ideas. So and then it's kind of like once you finish writing a song, you've kind of found peace with that emotion already in your head, and then once you've written it down, it's like, okay, I can
does it feel better? Does it feel better for you? Let's just say that the emotion is heartbreak, for example. When you write a song about heartbreak, after you've already finished the song, is it cathartic? Do you feel a little bit better than before you made
It's
the song?
cathartic in a sense that you get your own sense of like closure with yourself, but obviously with those kinds of songs, like the emotion stays, and that's the point of the song, really, is to trigger that emotion. But it does feel like, you know, there's some sense of like closing the book
of that specific emotion.
Yeah.
So
it is very therapeutic. That's a good way, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Speaking of therapeutic, I like I said in the beginning of this interview, this was the first time I've seen people screaming their heads off the top of their lungs, you know, for one person, and it was you, because I was behind you doing the voiceover and all of that stuff.
I'm Mercado.
Yeah, in Cebu Mercado. This is the first time I've seen it up close, and this close. So, how does it feel for you, James? How does it mess with your mind, man, when you have all of these adoring fans, man? How do you feel about that? And how does that affect you? Like, you're so loved everywhere everywhere you go. How does it feel?
It feels lovely. No, when I honestly, when I hear people screaming like that, it makes me really nervous. There's just something about like hearing people scream.
Yeah.
It makes me nervous.
Yeah.
But I just don't show that.
Okay. I actually noticed that.
It reminds me of before I would go on stage and then they announce my name. That scream that happens before I have to go on makes me so nervous I need to throw up. So it reminds me of that feeling. It's like a trauma that I have.
Okay.
So whenever I hear that, like, I get really nervous.
Why is that? Where do you think the nervousness comes from?
It definitely came from because, like I said, I didn't have any training or desire or experience to be performing on stage. And then just kind of being thrown on stage right after PVB. And I was, how old was I? 16, 17? With no experience, it was nerve-wracking. So I kind of just jumped in the deep end and then just learned how to swim. But it was definitely traumatic.
But you still feel nervous until
now, yeah.
Now, because I noticed you were kind of fidgeting and jittery, and you were looking at me all the time when people started screaming, right?
Yeah, and that was
you
like,
would ask me to go.
That first day there was like maybe 80 people there, 100 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were.
I performed for like 15, 20,000, but it doesn't matter the size of the audience. I still get nervous,
especially if they're screaming their heads off.
Oh yeah.
So how does that affect your personal life? Because you know, like I'm just trying to figure out how that affects you. Like, does that change the way you function? Does that change the way you deal with your personal life? That you're so loved everywhere? Because you hear a lot of stories about, you know, child actors, child artists, right? Who start as children, obviously, that's why they're called child actors or child singers. And when they grow up, they have a sort of like a myopic, different way of looking at the world. They're so sort of are in a bubble of some sort, and they don't know how to deal with people in the real world, so to speak. Their relationships aren't normal, so to speak, right? So how does that affect you when you know that you are so loved everywhere, and how do you get in touch with your reality in spite of the fact that you're so insulated from the real world because of all the love that you are given from your fans, of course?
I can just say that I am very blessed and very lucky, you know, for all the fans who have supported me, and especially to my family and my friends. They're the ones that really keep me grounded, make me feel like a normal person. Of course, when all this started, it was really intense for me to experience that. instant overnight fame, where literally every single person in the country knew my face and my name, was very intense. But I've gotten used to it as I've gotten older, and I don't confuse, you know, that love or that admiration for like who I really am. I know that's their reaction to me, but I think because of my like sense of self, like I know who I am, I don't get caught up in that, you know, and I just have, you know, my own friends and family that are kind of like my anchor, that really keep me grounded.
Yeah, because sometimes your even your family and your friends, they sort of insulate you from the world. That it's kind of difficult for you to understand what real is. When you say they keep you grounded, maybe you can give me an example of what it means to be kept grounded by your loved ones, of family and friends. Maybe like a specific instance, if you don't mind me asking.
No, it's as simple as you know, the way because they don't treat me like I'm James Reid.
Okay.
They treat me like I'm James Reid.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just a normal person. So, you know, being like having that sense of realness, I take that with me whenever I go like on stage, or whenever I do have to do those things about promoting and it's a lot of people. So I don't confuse those two people, who James Reid is to other people and who I am to my friends and family.
So you have a very good support system.
Oh yeah.
So you have such a good support system that you didn't need to maybe, unlike other artists, perhaps have to talk to, let's say, a psychiatrist or a health professional, healthcare professional, all of that stuff, because they're so sort of confused or messed up and all of that stuff. Because of your support system, you didn't have to do that, right? Or did you?
No, I've luckily I've never had to go through that. I certainly know people who have, because it's you know, going through all of this, you know, recognition and fame definitely can get very stressful. But yeah, I would say that's why I said like I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed to have people that really kept me grounded. Yeah.
So you first came out and burst into the scene in the Philippines through PBB. We had a lot of movies, TV series, telenovelas. Now you sang, and now you're producing a Wavy Baby Music Festival happening this January 13 and 14 at the North Reclamation area in Mandaue City here for the Sinulog weekend next year.
Yep.
So what is next for James Reid? What else is happening with James Reid after producing events and all that stuff?
Very first, I'm excited to be performing at Wavy Baby.
Okay.
Yes, I will also be performing.
Wow, okay.
The way producing it, but I'm also performing.
You're like acting and directing,
it's
right?
Weird. It's really weird. Even in Careless, I'm the president and founder, but I'm also an artist.
Okay.
So
can you fire yourself?
I mean, can I?
Technically,
that's a paradox. Can I fire myself? Does it work like that? But if I fire myself, I won't be working for myself, so I can't fire myself. Anyway,
it's so Matrix.
They are. I have to wear different hats sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, are you talking to me as James Reid the artist, or are you talking to me as James Reid founder?
You don't think you'll get confused at one point or another?
It's confusing for sure.
And then you're performing, and then you're also thinking about how this event will go and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I'm performing at Wavy Baby. I'll be performing the album Love Scene and many other songs that I've been wanting to perform throughout the pandemic that I wasn't able to. So this will be my first real performance for the fans since before the pandemic. So like 3 years, which is crazy. I did have like special appearances. I was a guest performer for JB. He's a Korean artist that came here to Manila to have a concert. So I was able to perform there, but just 2 songs. So this will be my first real performance. So I'm really excited for that. And then after January, I actually go, after the Wavy Baby Festival, I fly straight to LA because I'm starting a North American tour. Yeah. From
How many cities are you scheduling for?
15.
This is for the Love Scene album?
Yes.
Like a concert promo tour? 15? Did you say 15 cities?
15 cities. Yeah, we started in Texas, and then Houston, Texas, Virginia. We go up north, New Jersey, New York, Toronto, and then go across Canada, and then West Coast.
So will you also perform that same concert tour here in the Philippines as well? Is that part of the plans?
I mean, it is, but we haven't. Anyway,
Mm.
that is definitely part of the plan.
Part of the plans, right?
Yeah.
Because of course, Love Scene is your newest album out, and is there already a single that's out already from that album? Which single did you?
Yes, there are two actually. The first one is You and I.
Mhm.
That was the first single to come out from the album, and the second one was Lie to Me, which is featuring Destiny Rogers.
Do you feel like it's easier now to make a hit song because of all of these music platforms? Because I think a few years ago, I don't know how long ago was this when you first came out with your first album, like maybe like 8 years ago, or less. Do you feel like it's easier now to make a hit song because of all of these music platforms like Spotify and all of that stuff? Is it easier for you now? Or have you
I
always?
wouldn't say it's easier. It's just changing.
Mhm.
It's just a new way to do it, and it definitely makes it easier for anyone to be able to make music and to promote it, which is I think the best part about all of this is that you can be anywhere in the world and you can promote your own music and you can get it heard. So it's definitely easier to make music, but to create like a hit, I think it's always been like roulette.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah. It's a lot of it is luck, right?
Yeah, a lot of it is.
So
is
you're
dumb
doing
luck.
a 15 city tour in the United States. So you have your eyes in the United States. I mean, the goal is to make a hit song in the United States. Is that the plan, or have you already done that? Do you already have a song that's charting in the United States? Is that part of the plan?
I guess, yeah. I'm not too focused on like, that's what I need to do. Have a number one hit in the States. I'm just trying to see how far I can take it. With my music and with Careless, I'm just very curious to see how far we can take this. What we can achieve with everything. So, I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself.
But you are.
But I am. Yeah.
So it's here that you mentioned Sunmi and all these Korean artists. I think K-pop has already exploded all over the world, right? And it has already so many chart-topping songs, artists in the United States. Let's say, for example, BTS or Blackpink and all of those artists. They have charted not just in the United States but all over the world, right? And the Filipinos, we have been making music. We have been at this whole music thing for such a long, long time. And I know we've slowly crept in the music psyche of the world, but through Phil-ams like say Bruno Mars or Olivia Rodrigo, not an artist that was born and raised here in the Philippines who made and recorded a song here and became global. What do you think is our strongest impediment to breaking through that wall and becoming a worldwide sensation in the way that K-pop has become the past couple of years? What do you think is with the Filipino that is stopping us? Whose fault is it?
Whose fault is it?
It's got to be somebody's fault, man.
No, I don't think it's...
I'm just kidding, man. But
I don't think it's anyone's fault.
Okay.
But one thing I have noticed with K-pop exploding and becoming so huge, I wouldn't say this is the only reason why it's blowing up, but it's just something that I noticed, which is that it really started blowing up when a lot of Korean Americans started going back to Korea and seeing opportunities there. And they started bringing that kind of expertise, that world-class expertise, back to Korea, helping train the idols. Also when it comes to music, a lot of the music comes from LA, and just kind of bringing those two markets together, which was the Korean market and the Korean American market together, to help it kind of evolve into the next stage of what Korean entertainment was. I think that played a huge part. I could be wrong, but that's something that we're definitely focused on at Careless, which is the goal really isn't for me just to leave the Philippines and go be happy performing and touring around the world outside the Philippines. That's not the goal at all. Like, I love the Philippines. It's still my home. I'm not moving anywhere. I didn't move to LA. I'm still based in the Philippines. I'm just visiting LA. The goal is really to bring the expertise back to the Philippines and get people more interested in the Philippines. You know, getting people to see the opportunities here, getting to see the talent. You know, the Philippines is one of the like strongest streaming countries in the world. You know, there's a lot of like potential here in the Philippines. So that's why I think Wavy Baby Music Fest is like, it's kind of like the first step in that direction. You know, we want to, also like, don't be surprised if you know, the Careless artists are collaborating with a lot of the lineup that is coming in, because we want that to be part of it as well. But yeah, it's really helping like the industry grow here. I think that's the end goal of Careless.
You know, migration of the Koreans, you know, Koreans going back to Korea and LA and all that stuff, culture in Korea, in Korea and LA, you mentioned that it's part of the puzzle, right, of why K-pop is such a huge hit now. And here in the Philippines, it is definitely not from a lack of talent, because I think we all know that we have a lot of great talent here. So if we have great talent, is it about luck? How much is luck being played in all of these scenarios, and how can we get luckier? Because you know how it is, the cliche, the harder we work, the luckier we become, right? So when we say hard work, when we say we will work hard to come out and become a world-class country in terms when it comes to music, what must we do? What is your advice to everyone making music? We have a lot of music makers here in Cebu. You know, we're a very creative city. We have so many musicians here in Cebu. What do you think is your advice? What is your message to all of those making music now? They'd like not only to make, you know, music here for the Philippines, but maybe perhaps music for the world.
I would say, I guess, first of all, don't play it safe. Like, go for it all. Like, you know, with the music that you want to do, don't think because we're in the Philippines, you know, it's only going to go this high, or I can only go this far. Because that is such a limiting belief that we can only go this far. So why try and make something that would go all the way? I think that's something that I learned this year, traveling a lot to South Korea and traveling to LA. We're really not so different. And actually, I think in some ways, you know, Southeast Asia is still more forward or a lot cooler. So yeah, that's, I guess, the first one. Really make music that you want the world to hear, kind of thing. The second one would be, I guess, listen to what is actually working and happening in the world. Don't be afraid to take what works, but still make it yours. I think we try and stay away from the formula a lot, and that's something that gets that's like the word formula, something gets thrown out a lot here in the Philippines. Like, there's a formula for the way it should work here, and then
because I noticed
try
that
not to do that, but then there's also a formula that works overseas, and then we try to stay away from that. It's honestly just taking what works, but then still making it yours.
Because you see that if you listen to the charts, let's say the Billboard charts, you see it's almost like this is the same formula, man. I've heard this a bazillion times. In fact, I get kind of anxious and tired of listening to the same old songs over and over again, because it's the same formula. You can really tell that they're using a formula. So you're saying, try to see what's out there and what's working, and then make it your own.
Make it your own, yeah.
Make it your own. So, James Reid, you're obviously here to promote the Wavy Baby Music Festival, January 13 and 14 at the North Reclamation area in Mandaue City. Why don't you invite them to watch you perform live together with Pink Sweats, Jake, and all of these other great artists? Go ahead, tell them, sir.
So January 13 and 14. It's a 2-day music festival, Wavy Baby. I can't wait to perform. I'm really excited. It's been too long since I've seen all the fans and been able to perform for you guys and sing with you. One of the songs I'm most excited to sing is Soda, which is I released in the middle of the pandemic. I still haven't been able to perform that live, so I'm so excited to see everyone there. So it's gonna be big. Tell everyone, let your friends know, let your family know, and I will see you there.
Where can they catch the website? What's the official website of Wavy Baby?
The website is wavybabyfest.com.
I think you can score your tickets there as well, right?
Yes.
wavybabyfest.com. Ladies and gentlemen,
wavybabyfest.com.
James Reid, thank you so much, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Nice. Really good.
Thank you, bro.